Hey, okay people, I'm Sean Stewart and we're in the Organized Chaos Carpentry Shop. We get down to the basics in the trade, stuff tradespeople wish they knew before they got started, and some stuff to help you around your home. Today we're talking ladders 101, some basic safety, some different types of ladders, and just things to help you stay on your feet when you're climbing. Okay, behind me I have five different ladders to be specific set up behind me. Some of them you would see on a job site, some of them you wouldn't. But I wanted to bring those ladders into play because it is likely that if, let's say your dad gave you a ladder to use around the home, it's more likely on this end of the spectrum than it is on this end. And ladders have all sorts of different ratings. Like this is a type 1 over here. And this ladder over on the far side, it's old enough that it probably doesn't even have a type. And on the job site, you are required to have a different level of a ladder. So this is rated for 250 pounds. I have no idea about that other one. But we're not really getting into what type you want to be using where. We're just talking about basics of how to use them and some tips and tricks along the way. So let's start with a step ladder. In a step ladder, you have, depending on how tall you're going, you have different height of step ladders. We have step ladders that are as tall as this room basically, or we have step ladders that are only 2 steppers. And in all step ladders, there is a point where you're not supposed to step above. One, because you have nothing more to hold on to, and 2, they're not rated for your weight to be above a certain height, and they just start becoming a little bit tipsy. And so this ladder is this step up here. So this is not a step. This side, they're not steps. Those are not meant for your weight. These are not meant for your weight. You have to make sure that when you set up your step ladder, that you have these all the way clipped down. You have 4 points touching the ground. And give it a little wiggle. Try it out. See how it feels before you step on it. So this ladder, like I said, is a type 1 rated for 250. Whereas this ladder that you might find around your home doesn't really have a rating. You can see that it's a little more shaky. It doesn't have the stability to it, and that's why it's not rated for something to be on the job site. But I want to talk about this ladder too, because still not a step, still not steps, also not a step. This is where actually you got holes for your screwdrivers, or your paint bucket sits on here. You can see this ladder here has got all sorts of different colors on it. Somebody's been using it for painting. Next I want to talk about extension ladders. This ladder behind me here is a 24 extension ladder. So we got 12 foot, and actually we have 2 layers to it. And so there's 2 layers at 12 feet each. And we're gonna talk about first how you set it up. And the first rule of thumb is for every 4 feet up, you're 1 foot out. And how you get to know that is either you measure it, or there's a quick, easy trick. You put your feet on the bottom, arms straight out, and if your palms land on that ladder, you're at approximately the right ratio of height to length out. These extension ladders, like I said, it is a 24 foot, but right now it's at 12 feet. They actually extend higher. And they're held up by these clips here. That is a very important piece of these ladders, is making sure that they are engaged. The clips are fully in place, because if not, you can have it kind of sitting there, and as soon as you stand on it, it claps down on you. Apparently I can't purposely make it clap like that. And so having those fully engaged ensures that you're not going to lose half your ladder when you're going up. Now, depending on your surface that you're putting your ladder on, you have to do different things. Here, nice flat surface, I can get the pads of my ladder on there real nicely. It's not going anywhere. If I was to set this up outside on maybe even slightly on level or different type of surface, I would get the claws of my hammer out. I would dig the feet into the ground and make my ladder level. I would also make it so that it can't kick out on me. If the feet are firmly into the ground, there's no way for it to kick out and slide out on you. I one time was working on a deck, and this was when I was quite a bit younger, and I set up a ladder from one deck to another deck. And I decided to flip the ladder upside down because I didn't want to scratch the deck, because I was missing, the other side had nice rubber on it. And I was climbing that ladder, it slipped right out, and down I go onto the, well, I was hanging on the upper deck. I got a hold of it and was hanging on the upper deck. So you make sure you have good feet, firmly planted on the ground. If you can, if you're working on a rough floor, nail a board down so that your ladder can't slip out. Or you can tie it off on the bottom. There's different ways to make sure you're extra safe when you're climbing this ladder. Moving on from the extension ladder, we're going to talk about an extend a step, which is kind of like a combination of the extend a ladder, because you can extend it, and also can be turned into a step ladder. All the same rules apply for both ladders in the case of the extend a step. These, however, aren't really used near as much on the job site anymore, but it's very likely that you could have one of these in your home. The reason why these aren't used in the job site anymore is because job sites have moved to the multi-purpose ladder. The multi-purpose ladder, it extends up and down. In fact, both halves extend up and down. Also, in most cases, they're a push button. In the case of the ladder we have here today, it is a twist screw. With these ladders, you have to make sure that your catch, whatever your catch is fully engaged. So I have to screw this back in tighter. For your case, the more common type, the pop in, you gotta make sure those catches pop back out. These are a very solid ladder. They're a little bit heavier of a ladder because there's so much to them, but they're very versatile. You can, like the extend a step, extend just one side up if you're doing a staircase. So imagine you have a step right there. You're now level going up your ladder. And so these are great for staircases, just like the extend a step. The extend a step will do a staircase just the same. They're also great for the variety of heights it gives. They're great because you only need one ladder and it folds up real compactly. Okay, so this type of ladder, if you are just wanting to purchase one ladder for your home, this type of ladder is what I suggest because it takes in the functions of your step ladder, your extend a ladder, your extend a step. It covers all of them. You can get these in a variety of sizes. You can get them bigger or smaller. But the rules still all apply. So if you're using it as a step ladder, this is still the top. You still don't step on it, and you don't even step on the step below the top. But if you extended that up, then you can get higher. So it works as a short step ladder or a long step ladder. That's some Ladders 101, some safety tips, some how-tos, some tricks of the trades. I hope you feel a little bit more confident climbing that ladder for the first time. So you might have noticed that some of these ladders are different colors, and that's because they're made out of different materials. This one over here is made out of fiberglass, where this one over here is made out of aluminum. You can also find ladders made out of wood, but that's a whole lot less common these days. The fiberglass ones are typically used and were made for electricians, so they didn't conduct electricity the same. It's also a preference thing. It's not necessarily about weight, though I've typically found the fiberglass ones are heavier, but I think that's because they're typically built better. Ladders come in all sorts of different shapes, sizes, lengths, and colors. We recommend the multi-purpose ladder. If you're just buying one ladder for your home, that's the one to go with because it's going to do pretty much everything you need it to do. If you're stopping by for the first time or haven't already and would like to, hit that subscribe button and we'll see you back in the shop soon. This old piece of junk ladder is annoying.
Yeah.
No wonder it was on the ladder pile.